important red-top engine.
You watching?
Yeah, slowly, yeah.
This engine was designed round about 1990 and it went into the Astra GTE 16 valve. And today it's still powering an awful lot of kit cars. The power output and the power delivery is really, really good. And the reliability is second to none. You can give these engines a real hard time and they absolutely love it. They really love it.
Go on. Hold on, it's moving.
Just moved. I'm really hanging out for a good sail on this engine because of what it does. I'm not going to be shortchanged by anybody. If they don't know what its capabilities are, tough. I know what it is, and I'm not going to let it go for silly money.
Hey! Hold it.
Despite all that potential, Sheldon has yet to receive any inquiries regarding the red-top engine. But there is some good news.
Well, this afternoon, my old friend Kevin's come down to see me. He's a gearbox specialist. Now, I've been straight with him and I've explained to him that I'm not sure if this is an original Corsa gearbox or if it's an Astra gearbox, especially having a 2-litre engine in it. Doubt very much that a normal, standard Corsa gearbox would be able to take that power without blowing a component or a differential. Kevin always wants a deal, though. Always wants a deal.
What are you looking for?
70 quid.
If I knew what was inside it, I'd do 70 all day long. I'd rip your arm off for it because they're sought after. If it's the right box for the red top, it's worth having a punt on. But if I find that it's out of a 1300 Corsa, I'm stuck with it. I'll give you 40 quid for it.
No, come on, man. Work with me, not against me.
I'll have a 50 with you.
70 with the CVs?
60, you got a deal.
Come on,
Come on, I need petrol when I get home.
Come on, 70 quid with CVs. They've got good boots on them.
Go on, then, I might as well do it.
Top man.
Cheers, mate.
That's a hard-fought 70 quid for gearbox and constant velocity joints. But it's not the biggie that Sheldon's after. It's day 3 of dismantling, and despite having made a good start, Ben and Frankie are still a few quid from profit. A sale of the engine will help takings, but they've never heard it run.
So unfortunately, we couldn't get the Saxo started when we went to buy it. We didn't know the reason. There was power coming to it, but if you do apply power directly at the fuel pump, it wasn't moving, it wasn't turning, it wasn't pumping fuel. So there was no fuel getting to the injectors, and hence the engine wasn't starting. Now, because it wasn't getting any fuel, I needed to find an alternative fuel source. Now, don't try this at home, but what I did was got the propane equipment that we use for cutting and brazing around here, and fed the propane directly into the air intake of the engine. Now, the spark plugs did their thing and ignited the fuel air mixture, and we got the engine running. And it sounded sweet, so we know it's a runner.
If it's a runner, it's worth extracting. And as Ben prepares for the engine removal, there's more good news.
So when we got the car up in the air, quickly I saw that the whole exhaust system was a good brand aftermarket system, a performance system, so it was definitely worth taking time to take off carefully. The first thing I took off from the system was the manifold. Now, this was actually welded tubular steel, so it was a performance system. So the guy's obviously done a bit of work to the car, to the engine, and the exhaust manifold's all part of that.
It might have been worth a mint when new, but second-hand, that exhaust fetches just 60 quid online. That heaps more importance on the now-running engine.
I'm looking forward to this, Ben, because I do like a disaster. I don't know, something about a disaster that I quite...
That's not a disaster.
What is it?
That's one engine on a pallet.
Something's disconnected.
It has. The engine from the car.
The engine on the pallet method.
Yeah.
You can't beat it.
Yeah.
It's all disconnected.
Yeah.
Look at that, look at that. Look, see that? Look. It's quite impressive, Ben.
It's not that impressive.
And with no buyers for the engine, the boys need to turn their attention to body panels. But Ben is beginning to realise that their sales stock may be severely limited.
Now, if this was a normal Saxo, we'd have absolutely no trouble shifting any of the body panels off it. You know, you bump your Saxo and we could sell you a black wing, a regular wing, but we don't have one of those. The guy has spent such a fortune on this car. This paint that he's painted with, we found half a tin, half a litre in there, is a few hundred quid per litre. It must have taken quite a few litres to paint the car. He spent an absolute fortune on it and in the process made it entirely worthless.
Across the yard, George and Sheldon are still lagging behind. With time ticking, they need to get selling, and quick.
Yeah, we've got the GTE Dash. Yeah, it all works. It's all been wired up for the Corsa, but it would work in any other car that you choose to put it in, I suppose. How you getting on, George? You got that radio out yet?
Yeah.
What about the instrument cluster?
Well, it's coming out, but it's a bit of a mess. I mean,
Okay.
they've chopped everything and taped it all together.
What I'm really hoping to sell off of this car is that digital instrument cluster. It came originally in the Astra GTE, and today you don't really see them. They're quite sought after. So there's no plugs on there.
Well, there is. I mean, you've got the GTE plugs, but they've chopped it and joined it to the Corsa loom. I mean, you're going to need an auto electrician to wire this back in.
Now, I was really hoping for it to have multi-plugs and connectors on it, so it would have been easier to take it out and much easier to install it into the new car.
But with a Heath Robinson bird's nest of wires and tape, the digital Dash fetches just 38 quid. With big sales still eluding the chaps, they turn their attention to the remainder of the body kit.
Bumper's about ready to... Well, it's off.
Got it. Got the top stud.
Which sells to a web buyer with the exhaust they stripped earlier for 80 quid. It's progress of sorts, but it'll take a lot of small money deals to get the Corsa into profit. And with time limited, that's a big ask. That's why Sheldon needs to make his next sales inquiry count.
The engine is fantastic, yeah. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I've had it run. No, it doesn't smoke, no. No, not even on initial start-up, no, it's great. Well, today I've come down to Exxon Racing to hopefully sell my XE red top Vauxhall engine.
To strike a deal, Sheldon will need to impress owner Paul Exxon.
We're Exxon Race Engines. We build racing car engines, mainly the Lotus Twin Cam, the Vauxhall XE engine and the Ford Duratec. They go into rally cars, they go into hill climbs, they go into circuit cars, anything really that races on the circuits. Right then, Sheldon, this is the engine build room.
Oh my gosh, I'm in heaven. I'm in absolute heaven. To me, this is the sharp end of the motor trade. Forget about your dealerships. This is passion.
That's it exactly. It is. It's a passion.
It's great to see these old engines still running, making loads of horsepower. That's a bit emotional.
Sheldon might be full of emotion, but it'll be cold science that determines the price of his red top engine.
Well, should we go and see what our little red top's producing?
Yeah, we can do, yeah.
Give me an idea, before we do it, what sort of power are you expecting to see out of it?
I'm expecting around about the 170 horsepower.
About 170. What Paul's going to do, he's going to put my engine on the dyno. Well, hopefully his engine, if the figures are right. It's like when you go to the hospital and they plug you into a machine and it tells you a graph and scopes and gauges. Going to give him an indication of what the brake horsepower is and also what sort of torque figures he's going to get and basically the general condition of that engine.
We're going to bolt it onto the dyno. We'll hook our own exhaust up to it. We'll hook our own inlet system up to it. We control the fueling because we'll put it on a standalone management. And then we'll do a sweep test from around about 2,000 up to 6,500 or as much as we dare.
Be gentle with her. Be gentle.
I'm always gentle.
That looked good. Wow. Is that right what I'm seeing there?
There's your figure.
168.5.
168.5.
And you was hoping to see 170?
170 is a really good one.
Right, well that's all good. I think we're gonna have to do the undignified thing and start discussing money.
Okay.
Where were you hoping to be?
I'd like to pay around about £150.
I was hoping to get around 350 for it, Paul.
I can't really do it.
I'll tell you what I would let it go for. I'll do 250.
I'll do 200.
Split the difference.
I'll meet you in the middle. 225.
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah, lovely.
That £225 deal came late, but could make all the difference for George and Sheldon. Time is short for our two stripping duos as they attempt to profit from breaking heavily modified boy racer specials. With both George and Sheldon's Vauxhall Corsa and Ben and Frankie's Citroën Saxo fully stripped, it's down to last-minute sales to bump up takings. With every pound being precious, Frankie is launching a last-minute marketing campaign.
Of course I've still got it. Let me tell you, I have got parts that will make that and take it to a different level of a Saxo. This is a proper Saxo.
The smooth sales patter helps him shift the parcel shelf for £21, but with only minutes left, he's forced to let the engine go for just £10. Sheldon is also pulling out all the stops.
You want to come over and have a look at them? No problem.
And manages to flog the Corsa wheels for 50 notes. The front and rear lights for 30, and the steering wheel for 20 quid. Before employing desperate tactics to shift the horn unit.
That's one of them. Hang on, you've got a few more to go yet. You've got this one as well. And last but not least, there's that one.
And after all that, it goes for a tenner. Yes, I thought that was a bit steep too. And that proves to be the final deal of the challenge. It's time to weigh in and crush any unsold parts. First up, it's the bare bones of Ben and Frankie's Citroën Saxo. With scrap going at £115 per tonne, a weight of 574 kilos nets a further 66 quid. Next, it's the turquoise husk of George and Sheldon's Corsa. A weight of 474 kilos contributes a further £55 towards profit. But will it be enough?
Well, I see not that many people fell in love with your Technicolor Dream car.
And now your masterpiece in turquoise, it would seem.
Come on in.
We parted up with 500 nicker, that's a monkey to me and you. Total sales, 614 stops, giving us a total profit of 100 and 1, 2, 3, 4, dinero, pound note, 140, nicker.
Frankie and Ben were out of the blocks fast when it came to selling parts from the Saxo. The seats alone recouped half their stake. But after the job lot sale to Jim, deals were harder to come by. An unsaleable body kit dented their ambitions, whilst £10 for the engine was a big disappointment. That said, they did make a profit, but was it enough?
George and I, we paid, how much? £600 for this?
Yeah.
Total sales, £720. So I do believe that gives us a total profit of £120, which means we beat you by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Unlike their opponents, George and Sheldon started slowly. Smallish sales for seats and gearbox left them playing catch-up. But Sheldon's dogged sales strategy ensured the deals began to flow. That red-top engine was always going to be the decisive factor in their business plan. And the clean bill of health from the engine test ensured they won by just £6.
Well, we lost to a Vauxhall Corsa, a turquoise Corsa. That's not good. That's really not good.
When it comes down to the wire, like this one, it's all about the parts. It's all about the dismantle. He can't sell them bits if I don't take them off properly.
Yeah, we won by £6. Just goes to show in this game, every penny counts.
Yeah, I hated that car from the beginning. And I mean, my ears are still ringing from that alarm. Pardon?
Since the making of this programme, all the parts sold have gone on to breathe new life into a host of other tastefully accessorised motors. Scott has fitted the Corsa seats in his Peugeot. He doesn't look too happy though. Mind you, neither would I if I'd done that to my car. Johnny is so pleased with the Saxo seats, he can't stop sitting in them, which has prevented him from putting them in his car. whilst Jim's used the Saxo speakers to upgrade the output of his car stereo to a decibel level that's on a par with a nuclear explosion. Wicked, in it.